Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 3 on the horizon, and an educating evening it has been, as our analyst desk so kindly alluded to. We've got no team going up against Radiance once more, and if you missed out on the first two games, well, it's the best of three, so it's 1-1 right now, with no team taking the first game, and Radiance looking good taking the second.
They really did. Like, it's been a story of two different players, honestly, for each of these games, right? Griffin set up his team for success in game number 1. Crimson was the success in game number 2 here, and all of the pieces coming together to support those players really have showcased quite why we were highlighting the mid jungle as the place to be looking at in this series. And I hope that game 3 just gives us even more to showcase that, right? Let's maybe get some just hardcore 2 versus 2 action going on between them and see which one comes out on top, and maybe that can be the snowballing factor that takes us through to a win.
Yeah, I'd be really excited to see all this action sort of coalesce around the mid lane, because while Radiance did really well in that mid lane last game, a large part of that really just had to do with Light Pulse roaming up, but it's the Bluster Crimson combo that got me so hyped. Light Pulse is an incredible roamer, but if Bluster isn't there, it just doesn't hit the same. I want to see if we can get a little bit more of that action while no team are forced to constantly adapt, because we've seen Griffin and Blaze work together really well already, and that sort of 2v2, when opted into by both sides, is going to be full of fireworks if they just give us the chance to see it.
Exactly, right? We're sort of sat, it's the 4th of July, and we're kind of like, come on, please. I'm ready for this show to unfurl, really. And if this sort of pops off here in game number 3, this is typically the way these series go as well. You have one game which is the stomp, another game which is stomp on the other side, and in a best of 3, now both of these teams wanting to win, we may well see a little bit more of a tempered approach, and then just an absolute bang as we get into the game, you know, to get that lead, to get that emphasis on finding the points and finding the win. That's just everything that the teams are looking for.
Now, I've got a question for you, Dragoon, and this, I'll say a little bit unrelated. As the draft goes on, we get to see what the adaptations are for both teams. Does having 100 Thieves next, followed by Radiance on stream, qualify us as a family-oriented broadcast?
Yes,
yes.
100%.
You think so?
Yeah,
I was just
of course.
About that. Yeah, I think it's only right. I think it's only right to say.
we're always family inclusive as well as family oriented. Sure, we'll have the whole family on. I mean, Viper will be on at some point eventually. We'd like to imagine. I mean, this is the Academy channel after all, and we were expecting Viper to be in there at some point.
If only we could get 3 teams going up against each other.
Hey, don't count your chickens before they hatch. That could very well happen.
Yeah, limited time game mode coming at you soon. Oh no! We spilled the beans. Well, let's refocus on the draft. Well, we've got the time to, and before Riot hunts us down for releasing their plans for the next season, we've got a Viego ban taken out by a no team, and that, at the very least, is very well warranted by today already, with the rise in the Gangplank joining them. The Gangplank especially standing out to me as something that I would have really liked to see, and the Xin Zhao, something that I'm happy to see return.
Okay, so we've still got this complete detraction from AD carry focus. Caitlyn left up in the first game that we've seen so far tonight, and not first picked here. Has to be left up as, you're leaving this up and you recognize, okay, we're giving over Caitlyn here, right? If it gets through to B2, B3, poof, something's gone wrong. You have something in the works that I'm just, not ready for, apparently, but it does get locked in. Lux, typical pairing here with the Caitlyn. You take this as the bot lane duo, honestly. It matches Thresh Aphelios for me in terms of what they look to accomplish. You just hit one binding, trap underneath, bim bam, thank you very much. Like, that's it. You've hit your skill shot and you've won the lane, essentially. Have to wait and see what no team go for, because they're kind of not forced into taking the Lux here. Lux as a standalone support, honestly not the greatest without the Caitlyn backing it up. But instead, we are going for a very Crimson-oriented composition already. This is the Focus My Mid Laner tech, where we go Gragas, which is most likely playing for Porsche on the top side, as Xin Zhao. These are already 2 knockups, and in the second phase of picks in both instances of game 1 and 2, Yasuo was getting taken away. This time, they're not giving him the option.
Oh my lord, and the picks just get flashier and flashier as well. Yeah, we've got this big wombo combo in the mid lane, but now we've got a Lee Sin picked up for no team as well. This is going to be a very, very exciting one, and a high-tempo one as well, because Gragas, the tankiest champion that we've got so far, likely isn't going to be the focus of the game outside of its pairing alongside Crimson.
You know what's exciting about this Radiance composition is just how easy it is to execute, right? Like, just finding a fight this game is going to be incredibly easy. Radiance don't have to particularly do anything. Like, literally, launch a cask in the general vicinity. Doesn't matter if you're knocking them forwards, backwards, left, or right. The snap R from Crimson, which we know that he's going to have in the back pocket, is just going to set up for beautiful amounts of success. Now, of course, if you end up waiting a little bit too long, there's the opportunity to not quite find the biggest amount of wombo combo from that, but you're going to be able to start a fight regardless. You will start fights at a given instant. But they've got this bot side priority for no team. We expect the top side priority for Radiance, and as such, they will be probably sacrificing a little bit down in the bot lane. You know what this is a great game for, dear?
Tell me.
Karthus bot lane.
What?
Look at the magic damage, right?
Sorry, just do that one more time. Karthus bot lane. I can't say that I see it.
Karthus bot lane. It is. Now, you don't have to see it, dear, but I'm telling you. This is my role. I'm supposed to tell you why it's... This is a Karthus bot angle. Gragas is actually probably going to go full AP this game, which is kind of why Karthus bot won't probably happen. But either way, to talk about probably things that are going to occur, right? We've got these jungle-focused not even jungle focused picks out of the early phases. We've got solo lanes still to be picked up by no team, and then the bot lane still to be picked up by Radiance. You can see those picks already starting to be banned away. It's a lot of bot lane focus, honestly. This could be, and I'm thinking out loud right now, Gragas Yasuo bot lane, but with Crimson on your team, surely you give him the Yasuo.
You have to give him the Yasuo. There's actually no way that they take this away. I mean, we're going to get to find out pretty darn soon, as there is still the chance, of course, that Gragas does get flexed into the support role or the top lane, but with the TF locked in, you may have just called the weirdest flex of today, taking the Yasuo potentially again. So I'm still alleging it away from Crimson. There's half of me that's like, yeah, do it, flex the Yasuo down, and the other one that's like, well, can't Raheen just play ADTF?
Well, okay, it's probably not going to be ADTF, but APTF bot lane honestly probably seems as suitable as anything else right here. They've opted into going for a little bit more magic damage. I still would have preferred the Karthus. I'm going to keep that one in my, I'm going to keep that on record quite happily. No team now have to try and decide what top laner they want into the Gragas, and Gragas as a top laner, incredibly good at just mitigating pretty much anything that you want to put out, right? Like, goes even versus Jax, he's actually the counter typically that we used to see versus Jax, does very well versus Renekton and all of these very bruiser-esque top laners. Instead, it's going to be the Mordekaiser, and I absolutely love this matchup for the Mord. Again, these sort of R5 counter picks that you get coming through, incredibly influential, and in this composition where Radiance have drafted around a Yasuo, he needs to buy a QSS now, because otherwise Mordekaiser presses R, and all of a sudden that draft composition that you picked up just gets thrown out the window.
And I like the Mordekaiser, especially when we consider its micro interactions, how it's going to lane against the Gragas, how it can take Yasuo out of a fight. Those are things that I really enjoy. However, Rudude, I do have something that I need to come to you about here. I'm not sure that I like how it fits into the composition from no team overall, and potentially you'll be able to sway me, because I see a composition with no engage.
And I think that the engage here in this composition, they don't need it, right? Look at what we touched on what Radiance have to do to engage, and it's
oh my god,
it's Raheen bot lane. Okay, it's
Raheen bot lane.
Well, obviously it was Raheen bot. Twisted Fate Raheen bot lane is the important part. Let's leave that. We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that later. Okay.
We will.
No team here don't need engage in this composition, dear, because what Radiance have to do to engage is press a single button and then a single other button, and then that's everything pretty much. All that you just have to press Gragas R, you press Yasuo R, and then you've done it. That's the engage. We did it.
I'm pressing X to doubt. I see what you're saying. So,
they have to mitigate the disengage. Is my saying is that no team don't need engage, because they have to mitigate they have to be disengaging. They have to mitigate Radiance's engage. There will be fights regardless. They just have to not die.
This is being promised to me, and I'm gonna hold you to it, Rudude, because I've seen a team with no engage that I'm worried about already today, and I saw them fall apart when they weren't able to get to objectives first, when they weren't able to effectively disengage, and now, faced with the chance that I might see it again, I do start to get nervous, especially because no team sort of got their taste of this last game, being on the receiving end of a Leona and trying desperately to solve problems with the Braum. However, time is the greatest teacher, and as our analyst desk has already covered, we've had quite a lot of learning take place inside of this series already, so I can't wait to see it play out, especially with the flashy champions that we already talked about. The Lee Sin, the Yasuo, we joined alongside that, the LeBlanc, and now the Mordekaiser as well. There's plenty of skill expression rife within this game.
There really is, and as much as we've talked about the Radiance composition, I think it's now time to lend a little bit of time over to the No team. I know we've still got a pin in the Raheen TF bot lane, and I'm going to leave that in there for as long as possible because question marks are pinging over my head as well. The No team composition is actually very strong. If we take out the Mordekaiser and ignore what's going to happen up there, because we're hoping that's going to be an isolated laning setup anyway. This mid 2v2 is incredibly powerful. We've got Griffin we've got Griffin on Lee Sin, LeBlanc for Blaze. It's going to be this really a different damage profile on both sides. Incredibly mobile, incredibly high damage. You've got a little bit of CC from the Tempest, and then the Cripple as well, and then the chain from the LeBlanc. So if you're trying to lock somebody down, you can get away with that one very easily. Whereas on the other side of things, we're looking at, Xin Zhao Yasuo, which, yes, don't get me wrong, very good 2 versus 2, but it just doesn't quite hold the same candle for me to the immediate burst damage that Lee Sin and LeBlanc are going to be able to pump on out. And Dia, in case you didn't guess it, oh my word, it's a battle.
Raheen's running in here. He's surely going to die. No, but the hook comes in, and it's on to Blaze, who instantly gets ignited. But as a Radiance just get torn asunder, it is not a team that are cleaning up, with a Dragoon picking up 1, 2 going over to Griffin, and even Scooped getting his fair share with a double kill. That is basically an ace.
No, not basically, dear. It is.
No, well, because they respawn. That's insane, Rudude.
Do they just win now? Should we just pack it up?
X to doubt. I'm returning back to my old save place. X to doubt. I'm not sure what's happening here, but a Scooped returns to lane waving the white flag. I suspect it is nothing but a clever ruse to get Radiance all on top of them again.
Do you want me to try and break that down? They fought level 1 and they lost. Let's look at it that way. They got Karma Mantra Q. We have Mordekaiser. The level 1 was never going to go well, unfortunately, for Radiance. You just look at the level 1, and it's just unfortunately not the greatest.
I wish we had...
Production's just made a very valid point in the leaderboard right there. Crimson is now a bot laner. Raheen is role swapped to mid lane, so they've got the right champions in the right positions. The players, though, off in different roles.
That's true, and you know what? I'm excited to see how Raheen's Twisted Fate ends up going. I think my concern is that I'm not sure how fair of an evaluation this is really going to be on either Crimson's Yasuo or Raheen's Twisted Fate, because, well, you got problems, and they are in the form of sometimes 2 longswords and a dagger, sometimes a health crystal and a dagger, and sometimes just a dark seal, but problems nonetheless.
I mean, everywhere for Radiance now is in an uphill battle, right? Like, pretty much every lane, actually relatively... coincidentally enough, okay, I'll have to hold it. Griffin and Bluster. Yeah, there's no way Bluster wins these.
Oh, it's the cue.
Go, take it.
The sharp intake of breath.
In the game, do it. Throw me
away right now. He sees that there's a fight going on in the bot side, and Crimson looked good, but now in the 3v2, it doesn't look like it's going to be good enough for the Raheen. Funnels his way into the bot line, getting a stun and getting a kill, using his support to help pick that one up. It is chaos on Summoner's Rift, and Bluster is still alive at the end of all that as well. There is something in the water here, dude.
I don't know what side teams are on anymore. We're just seeing fights at random instances on Summoner's Rift. It's like actually like we're playing a team deathmatch. They just spawn in a section of team in a different area of Summoner's Rift, and we'll just battle it out there. Like, why ever not at this point? This time round, it was only a 1-for-1, so it wasn't like an ace on one side here.
Wasn't an ace.
It was. It wasn't an ace. The second one is early on. Okay, Raheem.
This one might be. If only Unleash Teleport wasn't a thing and we could get everybody in the bot lane once again. Scooped ends up picking up another kill, though, and it's 3 for him only 4 minutes into the game. The guy's got 7 kill participation, 100% of it at this point, and things are looking good if you're a fan of Caitlyn. If you've been waiting for her to show up all day, this is the place to be.
You know, I'm sad because in the draft, I was looking at these compositions and I was like, this is giving me Gigabyte Marines versus SKT T1 vibes at MSI, and if you're a long-time esports fan, you will know exactly what that means. It's Peanut played the Lee Sin in the jungle and had 21 kills inside 14 minutes or something absolutely crazy like that. And fortunately enough, this is exactly how this one appears to have panned out, because we have just got everybody absolutely duking out every given instance. By some miracle, okay, Dragoon forced to flash.
That was a nice flash.
It was. By some miracle here, Crimson has managed to put Predator Boots on his Doran shield, so hopefully Riot can decide what they're working with that one for.
That would be awesome.
So the Predator enchant on D shield seems absolutely bonkers. But important little stock take right now is that all of this, chaos and skirmishing has been going on, and it's important to illustrate here that no team are very far ahead. They have got a 3,000 gold lead at 5 minutes into this game, which is an insane proportion of the gold, right? You look at the percentages. If you clash yourself in a major lead when you have, I think it's 52.5 or 53% of the gold share. I may be wrong on those, honestly, but they've got way more than that right now.
Yeah, it is not even close, but Crimson is going to try and make it so. The hook just barely coming up short from Light Pulse. It does save the life of Frey, but with Scooped freezing this wave over on his side, Crimson is in hell right now. He cannot approach the wave. He cannot pick up CS at his leisure. It is up to Scooped to decide what resources he gets and when. And for one of the most talented players in this lobby right now, this is not the game that you wanted to have.
This off the back of the Tryndamere game where he absolutely styled on no team is just the complete opposite. He's kind of feeling himself, we get into the lobby, yeah, let's level 1 5-man everybody, and then all of a sudden you just get absolutely Goomba stomped in the 5-man and your wave's been frozen. There is a jungle though, both of them are here.
Yep, Luster is ready and Frey is getting focused. Crimson may be able to pick up a kill, but the Zanya's Hourglass, or rather Stopwatch, does save him just long enough. Light Pulse goes down, and now the hunt is on as the Sonic Waves goes wide. Griffin ends up jumping right back, but Crimson jumps in one more time as Scooped collects kill after kill. Not even the arrival of Raheen can save them, and it's 1-11, 6, almost 7 minutes into the game. Dude, I was uncomfortable with it at 2 minutes, but at this point, I feel more than comfortable saying that this game should be going to no team, barring some sort of Mother Teresa level miracle.
You know what, dear? I'll give you that one. I'm on the same wavelength right now. Honestly, do you know what? After 5 games of genuinely very, I'm not going to say very close because the other 2 games were kind of a blowout, but very intense kinds of games, this is the game 6 I needed. This is the more relaxed issue of League of Legends, honestly, that I needed to get me going through to finish off the evening. No team here. I mean, they are just so far ahead that any form of comeback, as you say, is bordering on Mother Teresa levels of Mickle if they can make it happen. So, Radiance right now, a slow, painful bleed out here. Maybe it becomes a little bit quicker. Depends on how well they want to play the game, honestly.
Yeah, at this point, we may genuinely see quite a bit of running with faces, although I'm expecting the Mythics to really be the trigger for that. Yeah. Mythics and, like, maybe second Dragon. I think that's when we get just, like, the full-on send as well. We're already getting some of it in towards the bot side. Scooped, still alive, by the way, underneath the tower. Picks up another kill, and Crimson doesn't even pick him up afterwards. Under 100 HP left on this guy. He's still up. Blaze has picked up a kill, and things continue to get more wild. 6 kills now on Caitlyn. It's a race to the first Mythic that Griffin wins just by virtue of his recall.
Yeah, and honestly, right, these plays you can see by the blinking health bars off the bat at the end of No Team, right? Like, these plays wouldn't be bad if the game state was anywhere near even. Right, like, if there wasn't a 5,000, 6,000 gold lead already, those dives are going to be successful. And they're going to be, be fairly swingy and fairly decisive in a matchup. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. They're going for these dives and they just don't have the damage, or Scooped and No Team, they just have enough to sustain themselves here. You know who I feel bad for, dear? It's the top laners. Everybody else is having fun. They're diving, and this is the epitome of top lane. There are currently 15 kills in this game, and Porsche has been a part of one of them. It was him dying at level 1.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for him, especially because he's actually done pretty darn well, considering that his opponent had 1 kill, 4 assists going into the lane. He's only 20 CS behind. He's actually been the bastion of this team that he was purported to be coming into today, but we're going to get more action inside this lane, where he lands a red card in the mid lane, which means that Blaze gets to live. Oh, it was red, but you know what? I don't think I can say anything about it, because Raheen is not meant to play the Twisted Fate in most scenarios. However, as we pan back into the mid lane, Bluster may very well go down, and he does so to Griffin, with Porsche coming over. Griffin's got no safe place to go, however, and he's going to give over the second kill, basically inting live, as No Team lose their lead entirely.
Yeah. It's gone. Goodbye. Radiance right back into this game.
Yeah.
Dear, okay, now look at where the kill went.
Sure. Oh, God. Oh, no.
It went to the worst possible place.
No.
We've got 4 carries on this squad.
Oh, no.
And a Nautilus. Now, Light Pulse, granted, a carry for...
Oh, that was sick. That was really sick, though. Wait, oh my God, the screen. I can't see anything, but I can see the scoop. He just went down. Holy moly. Just in the nick of time. We're getting Radiance coming back into this with a force. They are nowhere near back into this game, but I am loving their attitude because we were expecting them to just vibe.
I mean, unironically, this is probably the best season to make comebacks happen, right? Objective bounties are a thing. Big bounties on kills. Also a thing, they've just won a 2 versus 3, 3 versus 3 on the top side, where the enemy bot lane had a Gale Force, tier 2 boots, and a longsword, where we're just missing pretty much an entire Gale Force out of that.
How much do we collectively PayPal Crimson if Radiance win this game?
Well, I think it's how much does Crimson PayPal No Team, you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, No Team they're playing... They're playing a different game, but, you know, it's one that takes full advantage of where they are, and nothing exemplifies it more than watching Porsche just get melted in the bot lane. He's done nothing wrong, but as the life of a top laner, he must pay for the sins of his forefathers, and the Rift Herald is going to help No Team give them just that. Porsche goes down, this tower's gonna go down, and 11 minutes into the game, we've got what is fast approaching an almost 10,000 gold lead.
Well, here we go, Raheen, Predator number 7 of the match. Let's see. Once again, not going to quite find anything here. Kind of, you know, best KD for the team, actually, right now, with straight up and down 1. Joined with Light Pulse, who should have been a part of 100% of the kills, so there you go. You know, I talked about Light Pulse being the carry for the squad. He's been everywhere, making these kills happen.
Oh, Raheen, though, with the flash here, he doesn't need the Predator. Crimson right on top of Scooped, uses that last Whisper to finish the job, but when Scooped flashes over the wall, Light Pulse is going to go for him instead. Crimson decides that it is time to dine and dash as Light Pulse goes down. This Yasuo would be lucky to get out alive, but unfortunately, he is not Sky Masterson levels of lucky for you Music Man fans out there. No, not Music Man. Was it Guys and Dolls fans out there?
Yeah, that's a completely lost reference on me, unfortunately.
Sorry,
but either way, he doesn't get away. The luck was not on his side, and Crimson takes his fifth reset back to the fountain. And now the Drake's starting to really stockpile here for No Team with this Dragon going over. That's 2 to the 0 here that Radiance have got for themselves.
10,000 gold.
10,000 gold, dear. Ding, ding, ding. We have hit. We did it. And I can now give you an accurate percentage on how much of the gold they've got. It's basically 60% of the whole gold No Team have, which is by far and away a majority lead.
Yeah, this is absolutely massive right now, and likely the biggest sort of game that we are going to get from No Team. But again, I hold out just small bits of hope, mostly for my entertainment, that Crimson is able to continue to find these fights. Because the thing is that while the fights haven't been anything close to even, they've been just crazy enough that anything could happen, Rudude, and that's what's got me keeping my eyes on this game. Raheen pops right back into the jungle to clear out a ward and look for yet another Predator play. It very well could be the one that brings them back.
It really could. You know, Destiny isn't up and available just yet, but that's the power of Predator. He doesn't need the Destiny to make himself transverse Summoner's Rift incredibly quickly. Now Griffin finds
there's
that
a hook. Once again, though, Bluster right on top of Frey, and Frey almost goes down, but flashes over the wall just in time, not getting a single kill. This is disaster for Radiance, and no more so than it was at the 0-minute mark. We are going to get even more kills as Griffin gets out alive illegally in this mid lane, and No Team continue to pick up the kills. It is 420. It is the best time to be on Summoner's Rift.
And actually, these times that people are getting away from No Team, they have had less than 100 HP on at least several occasions, right? We're talking like double digits at this point, so even more so than that, and
yes,
it really is kind of crazy.
Yes, Crimson. Crimson can. Oh no, he can't do it. Oh, he almost did it. Oh my lord, that was way too close.
Yeah, welcome to AD carry, honestly.
Yeah. Considering that two skill shots were missed, I guess.
Yeah, and he still almost won.
Yeah.
Now, who wins this one?
That was great. This one I don't think is as close. They're both melees. Porsche may get away, but oh, that was a very nice safeguard. Griffin is continuing to take the fight in the face of not one, not two, but three people, and it's because he's got Dragoon on the way that makes it once again a 1v1. Griffin goes back and recommits onto Raheen and manages to survive for long enough that Dragoon finds himself a kill as the Destiny takes Raheen out. He rejoins the fight from the backside, whips out another gold card and says, I'm ready to go.
Crimson's here now to take over the job. Dragoon, can he last against the three people?
Oh, no.
Yes, decidedly yes here, dear. He's got the stats of the Xin Zhao, granted. The Xin Zhao decidedly far behind this game, but stats better than no stats here in this instance, and keeps himself alive. More gold, more kills, more action here. No Team, they're extending this gold lead, and I'm going to give you a chance now, dear, to place your bet on what the end of game gold lead is going to be.
Okay, like the difference between No Team and Radiance, yeah?
Yeah.
I think we ended at, what is it at right now? It's
13.
At 13. I think we ended at 21.
21, okay. That's bold. That is... I'll go 17.
17?
Yes.
That's a coward's guess.
That's my bad, I guess. Sorry. It's more so that I value your optimism at Radiance's ability to stay in the game whilst getting absolutely smashed in every team fight.
I'm writing this down. 21 is where we're going. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get there. At the moment, we do have some mythics that have come in, which is really nice for Radiance. It gives them that extra bit of utility. In some cases, survivability, especially looking at you, Crimson, who it seems like everybody else is also looking at as he gets kicked into oblivion and then autoed down. Bluster likely to fall as well. The question is really whether Griffin will die, and the answer is very much a no. As Blaze arrives, that's going to be another kill going over as Porsche meets his untimely end for way too many times this game. Now reaching up to 4. Nobody's quite at the 10 death mark just yet, but it's a race to get there.
We're doing our best, okay? Crimson has unfortunately forgotten that you have to have 0 kills for the 10 death power spike to really take hold. But now No Team here using this Rift Herald, attempting to break open the base. And you know what? Attempting is honestly the wrong word right now. Forcing open the base. They're going for more Nexus turrets on the cards.
I think that, well, they get the charge there, actually. And Griffin, again, I will say,
fine.
Shouldn't go down here. Gets a massive shield and now a teleport into the base. If they win this fight, they win the game right now. And No Team want it, and they want it bad. A very nice wind wall does manage to save Light Pulse and Crimson at the same time, but even so, this game may well be over. Turning back onto the tower, no team are going to try instead of the slow way, the tutorial way in towards this game, taking down the second inhibitor tower of the game at a mere 18 minutes and turning right back onto the Dragon.
Alright, these players are biased. They prefer you over me. They're trying to get as much gold as possible. They could have ended the game right there just by hitting the Nexus turrets and minimizing gold uptake. They decide that that's not the play for them. They want to get as much gold as possible. You know, take all their jungle camps, deny all the enemies, all that good stuff. Let's get as close to that 21 as possible. I can hear it in the comms right now, honestly.
you know who I'm happy for?
Who's that?
I'm happy for the next sort of rounds of casters that will be covering no team and referencing back to the stats and going, yes, their average gold lead at 15 minutes is 20,000. And going, stats team, is there something wrong with this? And the just bureaucratic shenanigans that will happen.
My favorite is when the like you say, future broadcast talent are going to go, okay, no team played this game. Let's go and have a look and see what happened this game. They look at the review and go, well, this game is absolutely useless to me. What game 1 and 2? Absolutely, you've got a lot to draw from that. But this one has been something different. So we're going to get into what should be the closing out of this game within the next. I mean, there's a very broad span, honestly. That the next, if Dia has his way, 5,000 gold at this point, 4,000 maybe. So
it's absolutely doable.
I think they're at 16 now, and I said 17, so I'm kind of doomed, honestly.
I will say, or rather, I have this question, perhaps, that, Radiance, we're set very, very far behind from the onset, and a lot of times, this is not something that they would go after in their scrims, for example, right? You get a play like that and you go, okay, we're going to try that again. However, it is fair to say that there is something to be learned and practiced from being even this far behind, and Radiance, honestly, are doing quite well. A lot of other teams, even inside of this tournament, would see a situation like this and go, well, there's no hope. And, well, Radiance may truly believe that there's no hope. They're not playing like it at all.
I'm gonna quote you, dear, and with the screenshot of the leaderboard, and then the quote. Radiance are doing quite well.
Now, come on, man. It's all relative. As Raheem flashes forward, we're going to see how well double Last Breath lands. But again, Crimson doesn't manage to get any kills off of it. It is a wallet-slapping difference. A walloping given to them by no team. Well, nobody's been felled just yet. Porsche is the first one to go down. And we'll see if any kills get picked up on the other side. Scooped has already fallen. But no team are taking their time collecting each individual piece of 300 gold as it goes. And Dragoon is saying, enough of this, I gotta get to dinner.
Yeah, as Dio once said, Radiance are doing really well
here.
Radiance
are doing really well.
And they're currently, with 2 players still alive, it's all relative. That if we check back to level 1, they only had 0 players alive, so this is a pretty good uptake for them. Currently diving Nexus turrets, just why not?
Come on, oh no, I was hoping that with double towers, Dragoon wouldn't quite be able to get that kill, but unfortunately, it seems like that is just not to be. It might just be that the Nexus is the only thing that can take down no team right now. 17k, they could just do this for you, Rue Dude, but it seems like no team are backing away, leaving the base in shambles, but Porsche just isn't having it, commits forward, and this game would be nothing if not content. No team say, fine, you want to end the game, you want to give this one to Rue Dude, we'll help you out. They collect the last few kills, turn right back onto the Nexus, or the next players, whichever comes first.
Yep, unfortunately here we're cycling gold into them right now, and the Nexus turrets have already fallen.
We were so close.
The Nexus, I assume, has already gone over, so it is indeed no team.
We were close to
21,000. You were pretty close, honestly. Those kills did get you pretty close. We'll have to hope and find out what the final results are, and who the clearly superior analyst is here on this desk, at the very least. And you know what? I don't envy going back to a desk for that, to try and analyze that one. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, it is very difficult to break down what happened. However, no team did have a great level 1, and in the past 2 games, I think that it's fair to say that while this game was unfortunate, the series itself wouldn't be considered a fluke if you were to look back at this. Had Radiance or No Team won on the day, whichever one of them had gotten luckier in that level 1, whoever had the better level 1 comp, whatever it is, could have won the game, and nobody would have batted an eye, because up until this third game, every game was quite close, not in the sense of that, you illustrated this earlier, not in the sense of that we had these games that at the 20-minute mark were still dead even, but that they were played cerebrally, with the strengths of each relative team in mind, and either No Team or Radiance, I wouldn't be surprised to take this again in a rematch.
I couldn't have said it better myself, right? You can make an argument for either one of these teams to have won this series. It just so happens that, if we'd have played a best of 5, maybe Radiance take it, but this time around, the best of 3, it's No Team.
Yeah, and you know what? You said something I couldn't have said better myself. That for the last game of the day, there's nothing that I would rather have. This was so much fun to watch, so much fun to cast, and Radiance and No Team both performed admirably on the day. Let's see what our analysts thought of that game, of the series, and of the day.
Hey there, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the desk as we just witnessed a game of League of Legends. Definitely was
conceptually,
yeah.
I think you're right.
yeah, conceptually.
I don't actually think that we need to look at the draft at all.
No, I don't think there's a draft.
Pardon me if I'm overstepping. I don't.
No, you're not. No.
We're gonna have some laughs about that, right? I think that when we're playing at this level, we definitely want to see the high ceilings. And sometimes when we push to get to that, we have some games that go sideways. That one was a very sideways game that got out of control very fast. As I said previously when my mic was muted, the thing I love about League of Legends is I've never seen the same game twice, and I definitely have never seen a start to a game like that. So in terms of talking about it, I really don't know if there's much to say about the game. In terms of some of the things to say about the teams, Radiant's still a team that excites me. I know that's a pretty ugly loss for them, but that game was over at the minute mark, as that would be an FF and scrims. I've been there, and when you think of that top side, Porsche's 17, Bluster's 16, Crimson's 15, and I think these players have a lot of upside as we keep on moving. And then for No Team, I mean, these guys are posturing to be one of the strongest amateur teams that we have that aren't affiliated with an LCS team.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct on that. I feel like even though that Game 3 was an interesting one, Game 1 and Game 2 was definitely something that was very interesting to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, we will have, like you said, the jokes, the memes, the any percentage speedrun tweets. There's all sorts of different things that can possibly come up from that. But honestly and truly, there's a lot of fantastic talent in between these two teams that were showed on the Rift inside of Game 1, Game 2, and even in Game 3. We had a moment there at the end where we got to see like a chain of CC. We got a glimpse of the beauty that could have happened from the side of Radiance, and all of us like, ooh, oh, hold on, ooh, and then we looked at the gold and remembered that it was 17K. We have a replay apparently. If you
of the whole game.
Of the whole game. If you guys are interested,
there we go.
We can go through this joyride together here as.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh wait, 1 second. I'm not able to hear you. Say something.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, I'm on my line.
Single moment, and I swear it's coming. Oh, here we go. Raheen, he goes in with the Predator, and Gold Car's one guy. And actually, I'm a color caster. Travis, you take it from here.
Oh, what? Everything's going crazy here. Everybody's dying left and right, man. Like, it's just. What do you call this besides a bloodbath? As it's just not taking people light pulse accepts his fate. It's just everything goes awry so quickly. There was an idea, there was a Predator popped, and then it was like a Jack in the Box, and it absolutely scared Radiance. It just popped them back on their back end, man.
Yeah, I think turns out when you Mordekaiser your Q on 3 people, you get your passive right away, and then you deal a lot of damage. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. Also, I probably wouldn't pick LeBlanc there, but once again, this is a young team. Seeing big, high level, like, some conceptual mistakes, not surprised about that. And I think that in terms of when we flip the script, no freaking team or no team, that's their @ on Twitter if you want to shoot them a follow. Definitely go support these guys. I think that, a lot of these players are ones that we thought would be picked up by LCS affiliated orgs, especially Griffin, being 15. The fact that he isn't on an LCS affiliated team was a big surprise to a lot of us. Dragoon was someone that was in talks for, potentially landing an academy spot, especially after his scouting grounds performance. And I think that these guys are coming into the season of proving grounds with a little bit of a chip on their shoulders and really proving it on the Rift. So I know we are going to talk with them rather soon. I'm really excited to hear more from them, kind of how their early season's going.
Yeah, we do have an interview that is going to be queued up with Dragoon, so that's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited to kind of pick Dragoon's brain, kind of get an idea of some of the things that went on inside this series and how the offseason was treating them, because last time Dragoon was seen was on a first-place team inside a scouting ground. So it's all the talent here is fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future has for all the players that are here. As we've talked about it numerous times, it's been the tagline for it. There is so much young talent here. But with that being said, Smats, do you have any closing remarks for us here?
That was a fun time. We got 6 full games, and it's only day 1. We're getting ready for tomorrow at this point, hoping for 6 more games, hoping that it all goes smoothly again. And I'm really excited for No Team, man. I think these guys are great.
Absolutely. And everybody, really, go check out our guest for today. If you haven't already heard of him, you're under a rock. It's Cubby.
He's kind of random. Yeah.
He's kind of a random.
Yeah, I host a podcast with a bigger random, so
man.
Well, at least I'm bigger than you, right?
Oh man.
Specs is on every day, so you can't random check me on here. Yeah.
But check him out. His @'s underneath his video over here. It's @Cubby @. You can see him. You can follow him. Sometimes he'll post things about League. Sometimes he'll post things about his golf swing. You don't know what you get sometimes, but
hopefully both are good.
Both hopefully good for you. They're being posted anyway.
I was a 5.5 handicap this last year, man. It was not bad.
Hey, look, I don't know what that means, but I'm happy for that.
Oh man.
That being said, thank you guys for the desk. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves prepped for an interview here with Dragoon. So we're going to take ourselves a short break. And when we come back, we're going to be getting prepped and ready with Dragoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you don't go anywhere. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on back. Travis C here, and I'm joined here with the top laner of No Team, Dragoon. Dragoon, you just came off of a pretty hot series there, man, and I gotta ask with the basic question: how are things going? Because you guys just came out of a very chaotic game there.
I mean, we were a little down after game 2 because obviously it's a best of 3, and going into game 3, it's a little stressful. But after the level 1 in game 3, I think we were just laughing for 30 minutes. Like, I won't even lie to you. If you guys know Amateur, you guys know the Daniel RMC record, right?
Yeah.
I swear to God, for 25 minutes, we're just talking about, can we break the Daniel RMC record this game? Like, we were just laughing. We were just laughing for 25 minutes and trying to get somebody on the enemy team to 29 deaths. That's what it was.
That was what you were striving for.
It was what we were striving for. It was too funny. It was a really fun third game. There was actually a lot of alt chatting going on, like a lot of banter, because it's a little disingenuous, but they kind of knew the game was kind of over at 10 minutes, So there's a lot of alt chatting going on, can we remake, or it's just banter after every single play. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw a lot of white flag emotes being used from the bot side. So I can only imagine what the comms were like at that moment. I really quick, I want to ask about you specifically too, because you're coming into this event here. You came off of the first place team from Scouting Grounds. How was the off season for you going in, and how was it finding yourself on No Team with these squad of players?
Honestly, the off season was a bit rough. I did have a tryout with an academy team. Unfortunately, I kind of choked them. I was actually pretty sick during them, but I also kind of just underperformed. It is what it is. But afterwards, it was kind of just like awkward because I felt like a couple of the amateur rosters were kind of getting like for example, AOE held tryouts, but then they kind of just had their IMT thing happen, like not last minute, but the roster kind of just came as a 5. So there's a lot of amateur teams that kind of just got full rosters like all of a sudden. And basically, me and no team were kind of like the homeless people, because everyone else kind of had an unfortunate off season. And I mean, I thought all the players were really good. So we also thought each other was like the best possible route going into the next season. There was like some other people on my team had some other offers, but like they declined them because they thought this opportunity would be better. And I guess we just thought we were just better players as a 5. And I mean, it's looking pretty good so far.
It sounds like you guys went from the squad that was unlucky, that was lucky that y'all found each other. I mean, it sounds like the 5 of you guys really are cohesive, and honestly, it does show. In game number 1, you guys had a fantastic time. Game 2, of course, had a little bit of a rougher time, and then game 3, everybody had a good time. You had the top laner experience, I noticed. You didn't get to participate in all the fun that was happening. You were still a juggernaut, but
yeah, I was just watching the chaos unfold. I mean, like, I was just like swapping. I think I had like the highest CS that game. Like, I was doing my own thing. I was doing top lane stuff. I was just farming jungle camps, and I see that like a skirmish went 4-0, and I'm like, oh, cool, I guess. You know, I'm just winning the game. You know, it was kind of like a cliche top laner moment. I mean, it was a
top laner's dream.
Yeah, exactly.
I just get the farm and my team wins. Cool. All right, I'm about it. All right. Well, Dragoon, it's been fantastic, but now I got to hit you with the hard-hitting questions. These are questions that I was told by XT himself. That these are the questions that he wants to see interviewed. He said, and I quote, "No mercy to the talent. They must be prepared." Are you prepared, Dragoon?
Okay, I'm prepared. Also, shout out to XT. That dude is the most 1v9 manager ever. That guy is goated. That guy is amazing. I love XT. Anyways, you can go on with the question. I'm prepared.
Let's see. Let's see if you still love him after these questions. All right. What is your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card?
Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah. This is one of the questions.
I am a fan of the original anime, right? So I'm as classic as you can get. Dark Magician. It has to just be Dark Magician. I'm as classic as you get.
Goated on stream live. Dragoon is now goated. All right. Anyways, what dance move would you most likely see XT do at a wedding?
At a wedding?
Yes.
This is maybe like the most like. What even is this question, bro? I'm on Academy broadcast.
This is an XT. This is an XT.
I don't know, man. You think I know random dance moves? Like, I can't even answer this question, man. I don't even know normal dance moves. Well, I mean, I'm sure XT would like. Yeah, like he'd pull any move. I'm pretty sure that guy could do literally anything. But I could see him doing the worm, Loki. I could see him doing the worm.
I see that. I was gonna go with Spinneroonie, but that's a good answer. Good answer. Where did you put my Game Boy? I think is XT. This is what he wants to know. Do you have his Game Boy? I can pass this.
What are these questions, man?
This is what XT wrote.
Yes, I stole your Game Boy. I stole your Game Boy like a decade ago.
There you go.
It's under my pillow right there, actually. I'm sure you guys know, playing your DS when you're like 9 years old and your mom would come in on your room and like your DS is under your pillow. His Game Boy is under my pillow right now.
All right. So, Etsy, you have your culprit. Anyway, last questions. Do you like jazz?
Yes, I love jazz.
Okay,
jazz is probably like my favorite genre, or second favorite genre. I play solo queue and I listen to jazz. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's literally mental nirvana. You can't get tilted listening to jazz.
I got a new tip for next time I play. All right. I'm down for that. Well, thank you for that, Dragoon. Any last words that you would have for anybody who stayed tuned, that was checking you out, that longtime fans of Dragoon or is a big-time fan of this new squad of players here?
Listen, this squad, we are literally going to absolutely run through amateur, okay? I'm actually looking forward to going against 100X. I think 100X is one of the teams that we find pretty difficult. I definitely have a couple of nerves going into. I really am looking forward to going to General Sniper. It's going to be a fun series for sure. And any of my longtime fans, hey, listen, this split is going to be a good one. Shout out to my teammates also. Those guys are goated. I love playing with them.
Absolutely. You love to see it. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for us here tonight over on the Unified stream. We appreciate every single one of you for coming out, checking out all the craziness. We had 6 games at us, back-to-back, best of 3 series, going the distance. We hope you all have a fantastic time. Make sure to tune in same time tomorrow to be able to see more of the Proving Grounds circuit action. Take care.